Welcome back, you guys. Let's decorate my house for Halloween. I am extremely excited about this. It goes a lot more astray than I thought it would, but I wanted to just be super, super extra. I was on the fence about being extremely extra. I didn't know if I was going to buy a ton of stuff on Amazon Prime days, but when push came to shove, yeah, I did. I bought a ton of stuff. It was crazy. I showed you my haul in my last video, and we were transitioning straight into me decorating. It was supposed to be a one-day affair, and of course, it isn't. It goes completely sideways, but that's fine. That huge bin you saw in the very beginning, I pulled that down from upstairs. It was more Halloween decorations, but they were all outside decor, if you will. Um, I don't know why I said if you will, because that's literally what it is. Whether you will it or not, that's my outside crap. And I tend to not decorate my home until a few days before Halloween. I don't know. I feel like if you go too early, you seem insane, like just an actual crazy person. And to be fair, a lot of my neighborhood decorated September 1st. It was insane. It like September 1, skeletons on the porch. I didn't understand it in any way. It seemed unhinged. And then I also feel like if you leave your Halloween decor out any later than 9 a.m. the next day, you're like a drunk girl doing the walk of shame home. Like, I guess you're not drunk anymore. You've sobered up, but you look like trash. You're stumbling home, your makeup smearing down your face, your outfit looks way too slutty in the light of day than it was when you were out at the club that night. Like, people know. People know you made bad choices. And that's just what it feels like. It just feels like hungover walk of shame all over my yard. So I tend to like rip things down as fast as humanly possible. But because of YouTube, I have to decorate earlier. Like I have to be slightly ahead of the trend. So I need to get my Halloween decor up so that I can create the video so I can put it out for you guys. And it forces to that's not even a word. It forces me to be like in it a little bit longer. It's so hard to explain. With that said, oh my God, I am so in love with being in my haunted, spooky home. It's so cool. I'm so glad I did this. I feel like it's giving extra magic to my kids' childhood, and it's giving extra magic to me and probably my husband because that man, I have floating candles that you turn on and off with wands. Yep, he is all about being Harry Potter in the kitchen. It's hilarious. And I love that I did this because it feels really fun and festive, and it is giving me more of, oh, it's the season of, not just, oh, there's a day of it. And it's making my life magical. It's making it a little bit more magical. And why do we reserve magic for kids? Why are we like, no, you should have a crazy vibe fested life only as a child, but we have to be serious and reasonable as adults. And like, maybe you shouldn't go 20 steps too far as a grown up because why? Why can't I enjoy it? So I cannot wait to show you guys this. Now, entryway, this is terrible. I even after all is said and done, I'm like, well, this is not great. So I have a few other things that I'm going to put up as I feel like it. And I'll show it to you guys as we go. But I thought this draping would look a lot more cool and a lot more spooky. It doesn't. I put them out and they are just straight blankets of netting. And it's a little spooky, but not spooky enough. So I'm cutting holes in it so it looks like it's been torn over time and just creepier. Because if something's slightly broken, it's way creepier. Okay, I love this. I love this for me. Unhinged Elizabeth coming through. I'm like, also, I don't love how my floors still look because the last time we mopped them in the whole house clean, I didn't dilute the floor solution enough. It got really sticky. I'm unsatisfied. So as I go through decorating, I'm going to go ahead and sweep and mop my whole house again, which is so amazing that I thought that that would be something I did. Okay, so on this day, I think the day before this day, actually. My One of my daughters is like, "Oh, I don't feel well. My legs are spiky, like there's icicles in them." And I was like, "What does that mean?" And she called me while I was out shopping, and I had intense guilt. So we still don't have a car. We're never going to have a car again. I guess the dealership's just going to keep it, and that's how my life is going to roll from here on out. And we're a one car family. My husband has a work car that he is very strictly and exclusively allowed to use for work. There is no leeway there. So, I had to ask a friend. I was like, "Listen, this feels very selfish, but if you have some time, could you take me into town? I need to go. Well, I want to go to Walmart and Dollar General. I want to get a few more things for my home decor." And I wanted to go to Walmart because, like, Amazon can be pricey, even though I waited until Prime Day. Amazon's a little bit pricey. So I was like, okay, let's go to Walmart and and Dollar General to have like lower price points, like, because I want to blend. Oh, side note, I keep seasonal decor in batches that make sense to me in these bags. I have several of these bags, and this one goes from late summer, which is my Americana theme, to Halloween for some reason. So also the sunflowers and things like that, that's going into the bag with the Halloween too. It goes in groupings, and then you'll see. I often store it in like seasons of 3 months, and I put them in the closet of doom. There, Sonia's like, "Oh, the thing you hung over the door just fell." So, anyways, I asked my friend, and she's like, "Yes, no problem. I would love to." So we went shopping together, and it was really fun. And she took me also back to Target because Dollar General was empty, and Walmart didn't have like one thing I was trying to find, which was the bats that I wanted to put on my backdrop. But I did get these spiders from Target, and I'm obsessed with how it turns out. So as we're on our way home, my daughter's texting me, and she's like, "I'm sick. I have a fever." And I felt so guilty that I wasn't home and she had a fever. Like, I was a bad mom because I had the audacity to go have fun with a friend and go shopping. Um, and that's not reasonable, but that's how I felt. I just had guilt. And so I go, and she's trying to explain how she feels, but she's autistic to the level that also her body doesn't sense things the way we think they should. So sometimes when she says one thing, it's a completely different thing. I don't know how else to explain it. A lot of people are super high functioning autism where they can clearly state, "My side hurts, my back hurts," or, "I don't feel well." But for them, you have to kind of tease it out of her. So her legs felt spiky, like ice was stinging them. And so was her stomach. And that made me worry for appendicitis, but she didn't have a fever. She wasn't vomiting. So we just decided to like watchful wait. And by that evening, my son's like, "Hey, my ear hurts a little bit." Oh my God. And then I irrigated them because he has a hard time with earwax sometimes. So I put water in there. Oh my gosh, that was a terrible choice. The next day, he has a bonkers terrible earache. He cannot handle it. And so I'm Googling online, and it's like, just let it ride. Wait a few days. He wasn't feverish. His ears just hurt. We were managing with Tylenol, or sorry, Motrin. And by the next day, he's spiking a fever. And I got the same friend who took me to the store. I was like, "Hey, we rented a car. We need a car because my kids are getting sick. I want to take them to the doctor. And also, Beauty has to have her tumor looked at. And I need to get her to Florida to get her tumor looked at." Like, we thought we'd have a car, and we're going on like 3 weeks without it. And so she took me, I got the car. She took me and Calvin, actually. We got the car. I went straight to urgent care. He tests positive for influenza, strep throat, and a double ear infection. And I was like, "No." So because the twins are hard to recognize when they're sick, and strep requires antibiotics, like, okay, let's just go. We'll all get tested for strep. And then obviously because Calvin had strep, my throat starts hurting. And I was like, "Yes, clearly I have strep too because you said it." Like if somebody says lice, all of a sudden your scalp itches and you're like, yeah, I definitely have lice too. I scratched my head right as we're talking about that. Um, Ew. So we go, and I'm very concerned we all have strep. We don't. We all have the flu, but we feel pretty decent. And the doctor just keeps looking at us like, and like, you're fine? And I was like, yeah, I'm tired, but I just thought it's because I took a Benadryl the other day and that knocks me on my butt so hard. And he's like, but you're just like fine. And I was like, yeah, I feel fine. And the twins are like, yeah, we're totally fine. And he goes, I guess I could give you Tamiflu, but all that will really do is give you diarrhea. And I was like, oh, thank you so much for that offer, but I'll decline it. So I don't know. So we're all sick. I'm mostly just a little run down. Calvin by far has it the worst. He was so miserable, but just everything got away from me and it sucked. So on this day, I am, this is the day that, what is it? I take a break. Somebody, I think this is the day, I don't know. The day Calvin gets sick and I start focusing on the fact he's sick, I think the next day we go to the doctor. But yeah, so I, all of that to say, yeah, I don't get it done in one day. Absolutely don't. Okay, enough about my nonsense life. I want to talk about decorating. So, when I choose to decorate, I've decided I am a really good decorator. Also, I want you guys to know that with this zoomed out, it does not do my home justice. My home looks so amazing and cool and creepy and all of that. I just feel like you guys don't get the experience of it. It just looks too sterilized and sanitized. And maybe someday I will get a camera that isn't just my phone, but until then, just believe me. So, first thing I did was I looked at the wall and I pulled down my obviously not going to stay decor. Obviously, my sunflowers are not going to stay. Sunflowers are not very Halloween. But now I'm like, process of elimination, does this feel creepy enough? And I did for my Amazon haul, my Target haul, whatever. I have everything laid out in my kitchen so I can kind of see what it is that I want and what I can utilize. And I'm just trying things out. Like here, I'm like, okay, do I want to keep this, what is that, burlap garland? No. And I know I am waiting for a spider knit cover, runner. It's a runner to go over that mantle. And for some reason, I think I'm going to get it all done today and it wasn't going to ship until it wasn't going to arrive until the next day, but don't worry. And now I am trying to just place what I think should go up here and not really focused on the balance of it. You want to balance the weight of it from side to side, even though this is heavily weighted to the right with all of those spiders. But I'm just seeing what goes up here. I still don't have a solid plan. And I do like that I can just step back, look, and then think, oh, should I try this? Okay. So I'm not in love with that wreath that I bought from Target. I thought it was going to look way better than it does, and it just simply does not. I wanted it to look better. It kind of looks like somebody smashed a crow to death a little bit and then glued it to the bottom of a wire circle and was like, yes, art. Look at this. Now, here I'm struggling with these little houses. I think they would be cute and spooky, but also a little bit plain. And so I'm trying to see what I can put behind it to give it a little bit better of a spooky vibe. In this, I also kind of forget that I have other decor on my kitchen table being ready to be used. So it becomes a lot easier when I remember it all exists. That is like caution tape. I'm going to put that in the entryway, I believe. See, now it's a little bit cluttered on that one shelf. That's too much going on there. And I'm convinced that that other pumpkin looks too Thanksgiving, not enough Halloween. Because, you have Thanksgiving pumpkins and you have Halloween pumpkins. They're totally different things. I can't remember what that sign says, but it's really cute. What does it say? Something about spells. And so I get one of our wands because we all have wands. I get one of the wands and I put it up there for like a Harry Potter theme. You know. Okay, the thing with this spiderweb stuff is that you have to get the smallest possible part and really stretch it thin. Otherwise, it does not look cute. It looks fake. Well, it looks fake either way because what spider realistically puts out that much web? And if you guys know, keep it to yourselves. I do not need that information in my life. That sounds terrible. Okay, this one I struggled pretty hard with this. Also, I think my husband's home. This has to be the day I went shopping with my friends and then I filmed the haul for you guys. So it must be the day that Sonia just now does not feel well. And Calvin will tell me tonight that his ear hurts. I don't know. It doesn't matter, you guys. The timeline is very fuzzy and I am tired as it is. But I struggled so hard. I should have gone up a rung in the ladder, but that feels too shaky. But it was really hard to thin out that spider web the way I wanted it to. Now I remember I have the candles and my whole world is about to change. These candles are exactly what I needed. So now that I could put a lot on that bottom shelf, leaving the 3 houses alone makes it way better. It just looks lonely and isolated and creepy, which I very, very much enjoy. And these I can turn on and I can set them to a timer. So after I turn them on, I can set them to a timer and they'll flash and be like, yep, okay, we'll stay on for 2 hours. And I love that. And I think that's what I'm doing here. I flickered them and they turned on for 2 hours. And then everything goes sideways. I don't remember what happened, but yep, okay. Now I'm getting bedding off the couch because my son wakes up in the middle of the night, I think 3 a.m., in so much pain. And he says that he can't sleep because the dogs were making too much noise with their breathing, which sometimes they do. Beauty is snoring her little heart out in the corner of my room right now. But I think these mics are good enough at drowning her out, which I really appreciate. But we slept on the couch, which hurt my back like crazy because I'm 42, not 20. And so my back has never recovered. I have a broken back. I'm going to need my hips replaced. These are very, very creased. And I told you guys that I wanted to throw them in the dryer. I put a little Febreze on them. I was going to put them in the dryer to get the creases out. I'm also talking this morning. I had a new internet provider come in because our internet was so terrible. My live streams were laggy and glitchy. It constantly goes out all the time, and I just needed more upload speed. And so, unfortunately, he's in my home right now installing everything at this time. Not right now, right now. He's somewhere else. And I feel terrible because later this afternoon is when I realized we all have the flu. And so, fortunately, he had called me. He's like, hey, my 8 a.m. canceled. You're my 10 a.m. Could I come in at 8 a.m.? And I have been having stress dreams about holding this appointment, getting my son to the doctor, picking up the car. I just felt like I wasn't going to get everything done. And so I'm having crazy stress dreams where I'm fighting with my husband and all that. And so I was so glad he came early, but he had called me. So I had his cell phone or his work cell phone. And so at the end of the day, I texted and I was like, hey, so sorry. You were in my home at blank address this morning doing a new install. I am so sorry to inform you that we all have the flu. I had no idea we were sick. Otherwise, I would never have kept this appointment and let you in. I just thought my son had a random earache. I'm deeply sorry, but if you start feeling unwell, go get swabbed for the flu. You've been exposed. And I felt terrible. He was very kind. He was like, "Thank you for the information," but I just felt absolutely awful. Um, my mother-in-law sent a bunch of candy for the kids. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's set up a little candy bowl and decorate. And now that everybody's sick, I'm like, absolutely not. No sugar, just vitamins. Stare at the candy and think about how you wish you didn't have the flu. And the poor twins are like, but we feel good. I'm like, I don't care. You tested positive. Eat this carrot. Oh man, looking back, I look tired. And I am tired, you guys. When you see the tired on me, I am tired. But I thought it was just because I slept on the couch. Um, And then all of the oranges, you guys know when your kids are like, yeah, you buy them something like grapes or tiny mandarin oranges or apples, and you can't keep them like from eating them. They just plow through them. Like 10 seconds later, you're out of it, and you're like, okay, let's buy more grapes. And they eat them all. You're like, okay, let's buy more grapes. And you eat them all. And then you're like, let's buy a bunch of grapes. And they're like, no, I hate it. I never want to eat a grape again. And then they go bad. So we had been plowing through the oranges, the cuties, for most of their lives. And my husband and I accidentally both bought some from Sam's Club. So we both got bulk mandarin oranges. My kids hate them. So all of them went bad. Like they're all brown. What the heck was that about? Like, why did they do that to me? All right. Here I am focusing on my focus space. And we need to get this island cleaned off. And I have high hopes of decorating it. Um, And I do want to say, even with everybody being sick and everything kind of going sideways, my house is a lot cleaner. My laundry room is pretty clean. I do need to sweep it, but I have been really tired. The rest of my house is moderately picked up. My bedroom's kind of going sideways, but that's to be expected. But I am doing better. I am doing better. Like you saw this counter to begin with, better. Okay, so the gentleman's like, I need you to download an app on your phone. I'm like, okay. And then the whole day gets away from me because not only do we spend forever at the doctor's trying to get our noses swabbed, Calvin's ear infection medicine was not available at Walmart where I was going to pick it up. And so I start calling and driving around to different pharmacies to find it because the level of pain that he was in, I couldn't handle any longer. It broke my heart and I needed him to get these stupid eardrops. And I finally found them at Publix. And so it took a while to get a hold of the office to get him switch over. So the whole day is sideways, right? I just lost all of it. But today is Saturday. And this one, yeah, it's Saturday. I'm still feeling pretty good. My back hurts and I'm a little bit tired, but nothing unmanageable, to be honest. So I'm like, yeah, we can get the rest of this done. And my husband is home and we're talking about who is going to make the potato soup. And I kept insisting that I'm just going to make it in this crock pot. I have all the ingredients. I can put it in the crock pot. And he's like, well, you bought a bag of regular potatoes. What are those potatoes for? Because I was going to do a crock pot. You just dump in diced hash brown potatoes, frozen. I have frozen chopped carrot, celery, onions. I have chicken stock, and I was just going to throw in either cream or cream cheese. And he's like, no, we could just make it from regular potatoes. I'll make it. I asked about leeks because I was like, green stuff, and that goes in potato soup. And so he finally convinces me that he'll make the soup, and he is absolutely not going to use the crock pot, and he's not going to use the hash browns. He wants to make it from the potatoes. It turns out so amazing, but he starts it so late in the day that he does not put the leeks in. So it was just delicious potato. It was so good. I ate an unreasonable amount of it. Here we are, finally deciding. I was like, I will put away the crock pot because you're bonkers. I this countertop has never seen so much cleaner and wiped down in its days. It's like, wow, I'm nonstop getting cleaned and wiped off. This is amazing. And you can see there's a lot of shoes. I do a general tidy too. This one, the counter, this one I had a hard time with. I think I need a different runner. Oh, also, I want bacon in my potato soup, so we have to thaw out some bacon. We have it frozen, and I took out one side of it. Also, that was super delicious too. I need to stop thinking about that potato soup. My mouth keeps filling up, and I'm like, yes, I want some. So hold on. I'm going to drink some water. Okay, so I check outside, and these are the runners I was looking for. You'll see that it doesn't quite work for the countertop. Next year, I will buy a different one that works. This one's clearly supposed to go on a mantle because it has a hard edge and cobweb dangles, but I make it work. And also, look at me throwing stuff away as I go. That's crazy, right? All right, see what you can see? Hard edge, but spiderweb dangles. And so I'm like, okay, well, if I push it on the edge, that makes sense, but then it doesn't feel centered. But if I put it in the center, it feels absolutely crazy and I hate it. So we're just going to try things out until we find what works correctly. And I'm considering, could I anchor it with this thing, the other runner? And so, and I don't like clearly, as soon as I put it down, I'm like, I don't think so. But sometimes after you decorate it, it makes more sense. So I'm going to put the things on and decorate it and see if it comes together. At this point, I'm like, God, that's so cluttered. That's way too much stuff. And it looks terrible. It looks really not good. I think what it is the plaid pattern mixed with the poison bottles, the decanters back there. Also, I bought real oranges because everybody's going to eat the vitamin C in this household. So, with the decanter bottles being those colors, it doesn't look okay to me. And that's fine. Like, it doesn't have to have that fall one. And I have a big bin back there that I brought down. It's empty. I am putting all of my intended for fall stuff that's going to come back out for Thanksgiving. That's going in that big bin. I decide the hydrangeas are too cute and they do not get to be out there. I'm still not dazzled by how this wood board covers up the last little bits of it, but it looks a little bit better to me. I think I bring you to look. Oh, I do. Okay, hold on. So I have you come look at it. And I think it looks way better. Oh, my stomach just growled. That better not have been picked up. That would be insane. And now dishes. Now I made everybody find every single cup that we have ever put our lips on. And I'm going to wash the living crud out of it. I'm going to hand wash it with soap. And then I put it through like extra sterilizing course through my dishwasher. So I usually just run my dishwasher on the quickest. Yep, let's rinse, let's heat it up, let's dry it because I like to hand wash as well. But this one, I was like, what's like the most aggressive option? Because I am not seeing strep throat go through the rest of the house. It hurts so bad. I had strep years ago, and the doctor, when he came in, he's like, first of all, you're an adult. Adults don't get strep throat. Secondly, you don't have tonsils. People without tonsils don't get strep throat. And thirdly, you're a liar who lies. And I was like, okay, could you just swab me? Because it hurts a lot. And he swabs me for the rapid strep test. I swear to God, it like sits for 12 seconds and he comes back and he's like, got strep. Like, oh my God, shocking. Like the fact that he didn't text me for pregnancy, I guess, was one level up because if you're not pregnant, you're a medical mystery. But he finally agreed that maybe I was correct when I said I think it's strep. I don't know. I wish doctors would listen to us a little bit more. I'm sure it's got to be annoying to be a doctor and have people Googling their symptoms, but like Google and Chat GPT are so good. You can put in so many different things, and it's like, here's some potential options. And beforehand, yeah, WebMD was always like, I don't know, it's cancer, man. It's can't. Have you thought maybe you're dying? There's like worms in your brain. But now it's so advanced and can like AI can pull through so many different things that I feel like it's somewhat better than an actual doctor. Not saying that actual doctors aren't great, but like it has all this information to where if you could narrow it down for the doctor and be like, here's the three things I feel like it matches, the doctor could be like, yeah, that totally sounds accurate. But also it has to be annoying. I don't know. All I'm trying to say is maybe women aren't always pregnant and maybe there's a secondary cause of why we're in there saying that our ears hurts when we swallow. All right. So, oh, also the weather is amazing. The weather is so good. I have all of our windows open. Thank goodness, right? Because we're actually able to air out the home. I have all the windows open. My back patio is open. And it's cool enough that the no-see-ums, the biting gnats that usually come in through our friggin' screens, they're not around right now. So we aren't getting bitten and enjoying fresh air. It's just fresh air. It's the most glorious time of year. So I have cross breezes going. We are sterilizing all of the cups. I am stripping bedding and washing it. I do run out of steam and spend the whole next day on the couch, but I do have a whole sterilizing deep clean that I need to do, especially now that we are a few days out from when we supposedly have it. Calvin's been on his antibiotics for a little while. I feel like we should do a big whole house sterilizing, especially if we're going to have a Halloween party in a few weeks. I just want to be super sure we're not spreading anything. Okay, so I had mentioned earlier this video that we are a one car family. Oh my God. There's no way my microphone, no matter how spectacular it was, did not catch that snore from Beauty. So loud. Okay, we're a one car family. Anyway, um, my husband had a work event that I wanted to also attend. It was during the day, and I show up, and there are so many people there, lots and lots of people. Most of them are US Marshals, and I don't recognize a lot of them, just the core ones that I know. And I accidentally locked my keys in the car and the car shut off. They fell out of my purse or whatever. And if my car idles, this is when my car functioned, by the way, you guys. This was like a year and a half ago. So the car was functioning. But if the car idles for too long, it'll turn itself off. And I go back to my car and I'm like, no. But the big event, the ceremony is about to happen. So I was like, okay, I got a different wife to drive me over. And I say it like that because most US Marshals are men. There are women, but most are men. And the wives are the ones I know because I hang out with them. But so she drives me over and I tell like five different people that my husband works with. I'm like, listen, I'm locked out of my car. I left my car at a different building. I need somebody to drive me home. And everybody's like, yeah, totally, absolutely. I would love to. I'm like, thank you. Well, the ceremony ends and everybody scatters like cockroaches. There is not one person I recognize that can help me. And so, luckily, marshals all have badges and stuff. So I see somebody with a badge and I don't know them, but they're these two older gentlemen talking and I don't know them. And I was like, okay, yes, these guys are at least, if nothing else, they're part of our family, right? So I go up and I'm like, hi, I'm so sorry. I'm so and so's wife. I'm locked out. Are you guys headed back to the building? And they were like, we weren't, but we would, we're happy to give you a ride. And they both seem a little startled that I approached them. And so we're talking and they're like, yeah, we can figure this out. And I paused and I was like, I'm so sorry. Are you guys important? Because I'm just getting maybe you're important vibes. I had asked like the director of the US Marshal Service to Uber me over to my car. He was my husband's boss's boss. Like the shame. Oh my God. Everybody, my husband told everybody, right? Everybody was like, oh my God, are you serious? That's who she asked? And I was like, I didn't know better. And he was really kind about it and he did give me a ride. But yeah, so fun. All right, how cute does this look? When I finally put that little netting on, and then I remembered I had this garland and my little spooky haunted houses. So cute. Okay, this thing, I remember when I did the haul and I was like, oh no, it needs batteries. Oh, I don't have the correct screwdriver. No, it has batteries. I just needed to flip the switch to turn it on. Feeling pretty silly about that. All right, here is the part of my decor that was a massive pain in the butt. I love how these turned out. I love, love, love how they turned out. But if you are going to do these hanging candles, you better have the patience of a saint, the dexterity of a quilter, like a young quilter, not even like a 90-year-old quilting grandma. You better be good at threading things. And yeah, okay, those are the two things I need you to be. So you have to thread fishing line through the top of the candle, like the burning part, the bulb part. You have to thread it through. Now this brand, some of them had like a decent hole in the very top, but some were more sealed shut. So I got a little pen, or mine is more like if you think of like a dental cleaning instrument, it's a little poker thing. So I would use that to open up the hole and thread it through. So you thread it through downward into the candle parts, and then you push it back on the candle with the thread coming out a little bit so it pins that way. And then you have to tie the fishing line onto the hanging hook thing. And it took a very long time for me to do. So I didn't record it um, because I wanted to also watch my phone. So I watched YouTube and thread all of these. And then I grabbed them all and they tangled like crazy. So I had to pull the tops off of everything so I could individually rethread each one. It was great. Okay, here I'm struggling with the sticky dots because I can't get them to stick to what I want them to stick to. They're pilling up, they're not sticking well, they suck. And I am now mad because everything is stupid. In a minute, I realized the thing I'm trying to stick it to itself is a sticky, and I just had to peel off the backs, and they stick very, very well after this. But beauty. But it just keeps falling. Look at that. I'm trying so hard not to rage. Just rage. Look at nonstop. I don't know what time I'm like, oh, I think it's this one where I'm like, wait a darn second. And I peel it off and it sticks. I'm like, dang it. But now the level of sticky makes me worried that like maybe I'm going to peel off chunks of my ceiling when they come off. I mean, it is an aggressive sticky. Also, I bought 2 boxes, so I have 40 of them. I ran out of batteries. Oh, yeah, you have to put a battery in each and every one of these, a AAA battery. So I nagged my husband into getting ready to go to the store to buy more batteries. And by the time I hang them all up, I'm like, maybe that's enough candles. He went out because he needed to get a few other things anyways, but I don't know. So Sammy comes out at one point and she looks and she goes, oh my. I was like, do you like the floating candles? And she goes, wait a second. They're not magic. Those are hanging by a string. I was like, yeah, fun sponge. So I can't wait until she like comes out to tell me about unicorns again because she is going to get a harsh reality, just like she ruined my candles for me. Look, okay, so, oh, that fell and tried to kill me. In the daylight, it doesn't do it justice. But this, let me tell you, in the evening, so cool. It is so magical and fun. Also, it's really fun flicking them on and off with a wand. I'm not going to lie, it's amazing. So the wind is being a little bit aggressive and blowing everything over, even though I kicked it. But I don't care because I love the breeze. Sorry, I blew my nose. That is my one sign that I have anything is the amount the like how runny my nose is. It's pretty crazy. So I decided that there is not enough and I want to add more. I'm trying to figure out how to space it out throughout the house to where it doesn't look too thinly placed that I don't know, I feel like it would take away the whole how do I explain this? Like not the if you just do something not enough that it can look kind of lame, like the Bridgerton ball that they decided to host in Detroit wasn't enough. They didn't have enough decor. Came across super lame. Oh, yeah, this is when Sammy tries to explain to me that they are not magic. What a butthead. So I'm trying to fill it out enough that it gives the right amount of atmosphere, but I also want to put them in more of the house. So I'm just trying to figure out how many to place where that it feels really cool and not like cliche is not the word I want. Um Here I cut out a lot of it, but I want to show you my technique. Felt so sketchy, but I would climb and then touch, and the first place I looked up that looked level enough, I would plant that thing because I really thought I was going to fall over. This felt so much scarier than I thought it would, but I didn't fall, didn't die. I'm here to tell about it. Oh, yeah, and then I'm done, I guess, apparently. Suddenly, I'm doing something else. Um, do you guys watch The Office? And it's when Robert California is talking to Erin, the receptionist, and she's like, I woke up, and he's like, don't ever say that. That's how everybody's started every day since the beginning of time. And so she goes, suddenly I was awake. My husband and I use that all of the time. Like, I don't know. So now I'm like, suddenly I'm in this part of the house doing this. I don't know. It's funny to me, and that's all that matters, I suppose. All right. At this point I'm glad my husband's at the store because this sticky situation is not freaking working. But I really wanted the spider web in this corner and to hold up the big spider. And this is a very, I don't know if you guys heard that. Beauty is like really snoring. It's a very flimsy spider web. I don't know what I was expecting, but I know it is not going to hold a fake spider. It wouldn't even hold a real spider. If you've seen spiders in Georgia, they're enormous. That the weight of a spider Georgia would make this come crashing down. Okay, we can see a clear logistical issue here with the sliding glass door and the rest of the spider webs. Arms, anchors. If I pull open the sliding glass door, it's too close and it would rip it off. But I'm worried that if I adjust these stickies, they're going to lose their sticky and not be sticky enough. But I do it anyways because my husband's like, okay, I'll get you more stickies. What stickies do you want? And we had way too much text conversation about the stickies. Like, I was like, yeah, that one sounds great. And he's like, what about this one? I'm like, yes, amazing. Get me that one too. And he's like, okay, but what if it was this? I was like, okay, yeah, all these options. Love all of the options. Could you commit to one and come back? And he finally did, and I never used them. All that discussion for nothing. I kind of wish when I readjust it, I'm going to get the ends stretched out a little bit more because they're kind of pathetic when I attached it to the wall not far enough out, and it just kind of like droops down like bloop. And I decided oh, that popped off. Um, some of the bottom ones can be more or less anchored by the pillows because I don't know, I'm running out of sticky. Look at how windy it is in the background. Like, look at the trees, you guys. It was actually literally howling, and I had never heard that in Georgia before. I didn't even know our trees could howl. I thought they were too bendy for all that. Also, I don't know how howling through trees works. All right. See? Look, now that looks pulled down. All I have to do is really anchor this last little thing popped off again. This last little strip. Feeling pretty fantastic about this. Oh, I do the bottom one too. Okay. Look at me going the extra mile for once. Cute, right? And let me tell you, it does really bring a lot to this room. I wanted that spider to go on there, but there was just no way. That spider web being back there really makes this section of the house look decorated, and it's just one tiny thing and like a butt ton of candles and a giant spider, some pillows. Okay, so it's not just the one thing, guys, but it helps. It is a helpful just the one thing. All right, bits and bobs. I wanted to show you this. So I stuck them in the dryer to unwrinkle them, and they immediately folded themselves back together. They folded themselves back together and like sealed shut. Very annoying. I had to pry it open and like the corners wanted to be sealed shut. But these look so, so, so cute to me. Ta-da! Very cute. And I was right. So when I did my haul, I mentioned how I thought throw pillows and throw blankets are the easiest way to decorate any room. And it's super accurate. Like, it just is the fastest way to make a room feel festive. So if you're going to do anything, do that. Well, if you're going to do basically nothing, I mean, do that. It changes everything. And I don't know. I'm glad I bought these 4 little covers, and I'm already shopping for which Christmas covers I'm going to get that I can stuff. Oh, Mark just came out. It's the first time he saw the candles, and I was really excited for him to see. Of course, the dogs are absolutely delighted that he exists. That was Beauty itching her cone of shame still. So after I finish recording this and hopefully get it edited enough onto this, Beauty and I are going to go to Florida to have her assessment for her tumor on her foot. That tumor is looking really, really, really disgusting. And I kind of hope that he'll be like, you know what, let's just do the surgery right now. You know, all casual. Because it has to be hurting her. She's on a lot of pain meds, which is great. And she's not acting like she's in too much pain, but she's pretty tired of wearing her cone of shame, her little bluebell, and she really wants to lick her foot. Poor thing. Okay, you don't see it well enough. It's not close up enough. I am stuffing all of these picks that I had on the mantle into my mason jar. It turns out really, really cute. I'm kind of obsessed with it. All of those things together, it's beautiful. and the little mushroom garland. It's more of a pain in my butt than it is adorable. So I don't think if I could go back in time, I wouldn't buy that mushroom garland again. It just isn't worth it. Now we're getting the last little bits of the late fall stuff, and I'm trying to pack it up. Because I know once this room is cleaned, it will feel complete, if you will. I just need to get it done. My dumb husband's like, "Oh, give me a kiss," and I'm like, "No, dude, I got the flu. Kiss yourself." Um, which he did not love. And then later he's like, "Okay, just a little kiss on the forehead," and I was like, "Okay, that's fine." But he's finally gonna go to the store like he said he was going to. I think here I am running out of steam. Like I'm less interested in the decor because I'm tired of doing it, but it is coming together so well. And I'm pretty excited about that. This laundry in the basket, I don't fold it. It's still in the basket, but in my bedroom. So you guys don't know about it as much, which I appreciate. But I do need to fold it. I need to get back at some of the laundry. I took all day after this to rest and just not do anything. And it felt really good. I just laid in my bed. It was beautiful. Kesha's refusing to move. She said, "I made this back pillow have a huge divot for a reason." She made all of the back cushions have divots. She doesn't care. All right, here I'm like, maybe I have too many throw pillows, which is a crazy thing to say. Of course I don't. But I'm just trying to figure out where they go. Cute. See, that looks really cute. So I picked this one. It's actually super adorable. Maybe I'll take a picture of it and put it up because it's so cute. It's two cats driving a car, but it's beaded and that's less comfortable to sit on. So I'd rather sit on the boo y'all than the beaded cute cats driving a car. All right, so this tub, it's going back into the closet of doom because I still need to put the Halloween stuff in it, and then it can go upstairs in the attic. And the next one, well, it's all Christmas. I think I have a tub of Thanksgiving stuff. So the Thanksgiving stuff will come down. Christmas comes down on its own, but the next time I have one of those soft shell things, it's New Year's and early spring to like Easter in there. So we have Valentine's, we have some leprechauns for spring, and Easter stuff. I put the outside stuff because I was not going to haul it back upstairs onto the back patio. But I did, luckily, this was light. I did haul this upstairs to go in the upstairs playroom. Sonia's coming in. She had watched a sad video about a puppy. And so she wanted to cuddle Kesha as much as possible to like feel better from accidentally watching a sad video about a puppy. But I put the other stuff upstairs. I put the outside stuff outside. The kids are like, "Hey, are we going to decorate outside?" I was like, "Yes, but like at a reasonable time. Not doing it early feels weird." But look, we're wrapping up. I'm very excited about this. And then I put the rest of those boxes in the closet of doom because I want to put the candles and the garland and stuff like that. I want to put it away in the boxes so that it lasts me more than just one season. And here I'm like, yes, because there's so much beauty dog hair. There's so much little bits of trash that I couldn't do really a final result walkthrough with all of this. I realize I have to shut this window at least because every time I swept, the dog hair would blow further. but I'm not going to mop. I'm too tired. I just can't mop. I could, but I won't. Should, but I shan't. Um, and I barely want to do this sweeping. I don't, but I feel like it just wouldn't feel right if there was still a whole bunch of dog hair and paper trash here and there. I leave the pipe cleaners because the cats love them. And then poor Beauty, every place she moved, I was like, you have to move. I want to sweep here. So I just prompted her to get off the couch because I'm not going to sweep the couch. And she was pretty delighted with that. But I just felt so bad because every time I was like, no, babe, that's where I'm headed. That big thing that I swept, I'll eventually sweep it up, was what sweet potatoes collar that was inflatable. She popped it day one. She popped it and it was useless after that. So now I'm like, what would be interesting if I just continuously swept? Like I don't sweep anything up, I continuously sweep. So we can see exactly how gross my house got in like what, a week and a half. It has not been that long since I whole house cleaned. And I love sweeping off my rugs because so much dirt and sand and everything like that. So good. All right. I kind of wish I had a little bit more decor for my kitchen table, but that is for next Halloween because I'm willing to bet I buy more crap next Halloween. All right. I know that's driving you guys crazy, or some of you crazy. Don't worry, I fix it. I see it in a minute and it gets fixed. Ta-da! See? Fixed it. Told you I would. It's a lot. Look at how much dog hair and dirt. Ew. I'm just moving you along with me. I'm like, okay, let's do the kitchen next. Maybe I'll mop. Mm, maybe I'll mop this weekend. Why not? Why not? Let's be crazy and mop twice a month. Cute, right? You guys, look at how cute these are. They're super adorable. All right, last little bits. Also, oh, I don't think I show you, but my laundry room is not a nightmare. Very pleased with that. It's also not very spooky because I didn't put any decor in there because I'm not that crazy, guys. But look, that is my house after like a week and a half. Okay, here we go, guys. Entryway, nothing to write home about, but I will spruce it up a little bit. But let's just ignore it. Okay, look, you guys, it's so freaking cute. It's perfect. I love it so much. I love that Walmart haunted house thing. I was worried it would come across like cheap and tacky, but it is perfection. It is well worth the $14.92 or whatever it was. I love the pillows on there. They look great. I'm excited to show you the kitchen looking out. I hung this up. I didn't tell you guys about it, but look, I hung it up. I don't want to talk about the back counter, so thank you. Just, ugh. Okay, look. Especially if you stand in here and take it all in, if you look at all of it, how fun is that? It's so fun. And ignore the medications on the counter. Like, my son was selfish and needed prescriptions. The candles look so good at nighttime. It looks a little hilarious here because it's too bright, but it's so good at bedtime. I will pin up the rest of that spider web as it fell and my little spider. Anyways, thank you guys for coming with me and spending time today. It was so much fun. I love how my home looks. I feel so grateful that I have it. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.